So Ilya returned to skating on his own. Just how happy are you that he's moving along?
Very happy. We miss him, and that means he may be able to integrate into practice immediately after the skate. I didn't find out yet how that went, but very good news. Very happy for him. He's a big part of what we're doing here.
As far as Rasmus Dahlin goes, he's very, as you were saying the other day, he's very frank about his struggles, or what he struggles, what he's going through, and so forth. He addresses it. I mean, he mentioned the details in his game and slipped. I mean, it seemed like those details were pretty good on Saturday. What kind of bounce back did you see from him Saturday?
I thought he was real good, as you said, and he mentioned his details were good. But he's, I mean, these guys are young players, and they haven't had, there's a lot of guys that haven't had a lot of games at this level, experience-wise. So you're going to go through natural ups and downs and highs and lows. And when you struggle, it's going to be probably the first time you struggled in one area or another area, maybe in your career. And you got to learn to deal with it, and that's part of maturing as a player. So, you know, there's nothing that Aspie has gone through that should be alarming as far as any adversity. I mean, the players are going to face adversity, and they're going to have to go through it and learn how to handle it to become an experienced NHL player. And I think that's all we're seeing out of Aspie. This is making him better, and he's learning to streamline his game to his skill set at this level within the context of what we need as a team, and he dialed in pretty good the other night.
When you see this Kings roster, what stands out to you about his first time facing it this year at home?
Well, they are certainly a team. I mean, every team in this league you have to respect, and they play a pretty heavy game, very straightforward. I think they've got great leadership. I think they're have very simplified, powerful structure to their game. We faced a team the other night that played very structured against us, 2-game set in Pittsburgh. I would say it's going to be similar to that, with probably a little bit more heavier, defensemen and physical play, specifically down low. Which would be our offensive zone. But you approach it with the respect that you should of every team in this league. Every team you play is a good team and a capable team, and this is no different.
Talking to Peterka, he mentioned that his game away from the puck is the area that he's continued to try to adjust to in the NHL, not only offensively but defensively. How have you seen the growth from him when it comes to the offensive side of the game and making sure that he's in spots to get the puck with his line mates and able to create?
Yeah, that line has developed chemistry. I'd watch those players, JJ and Quinn last year a lot in the American League. Obviously, we had Dylan here, and it was something that I wanted to get those three together, but I didn't want to do it at the start of the year. And it was because JJ and Quinn both had to work on certain things just to get acclimated to a certain degree within the context of the league, the pace of the game, the experience of the players around them on our team and the other team. And I think JJ, that process has been accelerated. He's been engaged in it very well. He came in here with an open mind of, okay, I think a couple games last year helped him to get a visual that when he gets into this league, he's going to have to learn a lot, and the faster he can learn, the better. And he's had that as an objective, and that's helped him the rapid growth rate, and that's still rapid right now, which is phenomenal. Him, Dylan, and Quinn, by virtue of their age and not yet an experience level, their growth rate is huge, and they're engaged in that growth. It makes it very nice for us as coaches.
Thinking back to those 2 games last year, it seemed like he was trying to skate 100 miles an hour every time he had the puck and got himself in some bad ice. This year, there's a lot more patience in his game, and he's really good at kind of slowing the play down, knowing when to look for his line mates. How did you think that development really started last year in Rochester? And it's not easy to do that and come to the NHL when the speed is obviously a lot higher.
Yeah, what was important last year, what we wanted to do was give him some hindsight of being in the NHL. And we didn't feel, We felt Rochester was the best spot for him, but part of his development was getting an NHL game or two, or whatever we could get him to have some hindsight going into an off season, and he struggled when he was up last year, which was good. I think you have a young guy struggle, and you go into a room like this as a coach, and everybody's worried about it, and the coach, you're like, this is great. We want him. He's going to have to struggle at some point in his career because he just hasn't played at that level of the players. So he struggled last year. I felt. I think he would probably agree, and that gave him a lot of hindsight to how much he had to prepare for this year, and he's done a great job in that.
I know you've been asked this many times for us that don't get a chance to see face-to-face the step that Dahlin has taken this year after taking many, many, many steps. What has elevated him to pretty elite status right now?
Yeah, he is elite status. I mean, it's special on a nightly basis to watch him. A lot. He's a very determined guy, and he's an ultra-competitive person and player. Now you're seeing him breathe a little bit, where all of the adversity that he went through is now, as I've mentioned, it's now experience. It's given him confidence. All that adversity he faced last year could put a seed of doubt in his mind. Now he's bigger. He's built himself bigger and stronger. Natural growth. Obviously, he's only 22 years old. So everybody knows from 18 to 22 how much strength, physical strength these guys can put on. Hockey strength, physical strength, weight. The accumulation of that has helped him bounce players around, buy himself more time and space with strength, shed a guy that's trying to hit him. And that basically, he broke through a threshold of that, and all those potentially negative experiences he felt were negative in his career, realizing that those were actually positive ones. Those were valuable experience to learn from, and he's learned from it. And now he walks into a game, and he fully believes and knows he can impact outcome on a positive sense. He's killing plays faster defensively. Last year we challenged him to use his hockey sense in the defensive zone. And he's really matured in that regard. He's tough to beat defensively because he's not worried about a system. He's using his hockey sense much more. And obviously, we play a system, but that's secondary to what we feel is incredible hockey sense.
When it comes to Casey's opportunity on the top line, obviously he has a lot of chemistry with Tage and Tuck, but where do you draw the line, and especially giving feedback between him playing his game and the role you need him to fill in Jeff's absence?
That's a tricky one. And the nice part is Tuck and Thompson have a really huge respect for Casey, his skill, him as a worker, as a teammate, as a competitive guy. So, I don't want to overcoach the situation. You have to trust. I watch Casey work every day and compete every day, and obviously, we're together as a team every day. To me, this is a great opportunity for Casey to just embrace and enjoy, and hopefully it helps him pull out of what has been a real psychological challenge for him, if not a physical one. We all expect Casey to produce more than he has, and that has a psychological burden to him as that goes along. Hopefully he can break through that and just play. He's put a lot of work in. I have a lot of faith in him as a coach. As a result of the work, he's going to break through, and hopefully this helps him break through.
Look at him and Tage having reverse journeys between center and wing. Do you think there is something for Tage to learn with how Casey handles the faceoff? Tage learns from anything, anybody, any situation. Most great players do, and players that are becoming, better and better. So yes, I think that's an easy one. As a trait, Tage learns from just about anybody he can learn from. So he's picking up stuff. If Casey's taking a draw, he's definitely conversing with him and picking things up on that.
Curious about Jack Quinn's makeup, because as in minor hockey, he plays AA forever, finally makes AAA, takes off. OHL finally makes it. Next year, 50 goals. AHL, same thing. Bit of an adjustment, really takes off. NHL, you've seen a little bit. what do you make of that? Is it something with his makeup, the way he sees the game, approaches the game?
Yeah, it's with his makeup, no question. He is willing to work, willing to sacrifice for future, and he's always, you know, there's lots of incredible players in youth hockey and even drafted players that never make it to the NHL, and lots of times those players don't make it because they think they've already arrived. And so a guy that never arrived, like you said, he played Double A and then didn't make a Triple A, didn't make Major Junior, he's never arrived. That's a mentality. I need to do more. And so his mentality every day is I need to do more. I need to get better. I need to find ways to get better. Not I've arrived. And it's still that way. And you look around the league, the best players in the league, I mean the highest elite players in our league, that's the mentality they have. They know they're great, but they're always looking for more. And they have an appetite for more, so a focus, and that's Tage Thompson, that's Rasmus Dahlin, it's all the best players. And the guys that struggle typically don't have that approach. So Quinner is, he's very determined, and he is willing to sacrifice to work for future success.
Don, will you have the same 16?
I can't even remember, Paul, with who we had in games the other day, and so
Pilot or Clay?
Clegg will stay in. Yeah, Clegg will stay in. And he's been real good for us, for the guys from, I mean, he's been great for us. So, yep.
Coach?